So now let's try to do some ACT problems that deals with this concept of the absolute value. Now over here, we do everything within each absolute value first before we answer the problem. So let's do this side first. And we have -6 plus 3 minus -4. So -6 plus 3 minus -4. And when you see that minus negative, that's pretty much a plus. You can think of it as a plus. So it's -6 plus 3 plus 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. So 1, absolute value, minus, now let's do this. What is 4 plus -10? And that equals -6. So it's absolute value of 1 minus the absolute value of -6. And so the absolute value of 1 is just 1, minus the absolute value of -6 is just 6. And so the answer is -5. So it's A. Now let's do the second problem. What is the solution set of the absolute value of x minus 4 equals 5? And so when you look at this, it's pretty much saying which set has the answers inside of it. So A, for example, would be like there's no answers at all. So it's an empty set. There's nothing. It's like, think of a set as a basket. And here are the things in the basket that would be a solution to the problem. So we have an empty basket, meaning that we have no answer. So that's what A means. So let's try to solve this. So you see the absolute value of x minus 4, and you think, I got to make two equations. So you say x minus 4 equals 5, and you say negative x minus 4 equals 5. And so let's solve the first equation. X minus 4 equals 5. Let's add 4 to both sides, and we get x equals 9. And now let's multiply both sides by -1. And so we have x minus 4 equals -5. And then let's subtract 4 from each side. And so we have x equals -5 minus 4 equals -9. So we have x equals -9, and we have x equals 9. So there's two answers, and that is not the answer. So now let's try this problem. So we see that absolute value of x minus 4 equals 5. And when you look at this, the A is kind of weird with these brackets. What it means is it's a set. And the way you can think of a set is you think of a basket. And you think, okay, what the things that's in this basket has to contain all the answers to this equation. So A is pretty much saying there's nothing in the basket. There's no answer that you could satisfy. There's no answer for x that satisfies that equation. And then B is saying there's only one number that satisfies this equation, and that's 1. And then C is saying there's only one answer, which is 9. And D is saying there's two answers for x. It could be 1 or it could be -9. And so that's how you interpret these questions, these answer choices. So let's try to solve this. So we know that there's going to be two equations. One is x minus 4 equals 5, and the other is negative x minus 4 equals 5. So let's solve the first one. So x minus 4 equals 5, so you add 4 to both sides, and you get x equals 9. You do the same. Let's try to solve this. The second equation, and you multiply both sides by -1, and you get x minus 4 equals -5. And then you add 4 to both sides, and we get x equals -1. So there's two answers, 9 and -1, and we see that it's E. And then it's a good idea to just quickly double check and make sure that your answers are right. And so we have absolute value of x minus 4 equals 5. So let's do the first one and plug in a 9. And plug in a 9. And so we get 9 minus 4 equals 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. Absolute value 5. So then 5 equals 5. So that's right. So now let's plug in the next one. Plug in a -1. And we have -1 minus 4 equals 5. So -1 minus 4 is -5 equals 5. Absolute value -5 is just 5. So 5 equals 5. And so that's right too. So we just double checked and we know that E is the right answer. Okay, so in this problem, we don't have an absolute value, but I'm going to tweak it in a bit and show you how to solve it if it did have an absolute value. But right now, it's pretty much just asking you to solve for x. So let's do that. So 10 minus 2x is less than or equal to 4. And I would probably add 2x on both sides. And then we have 10 is less than or equal to 4 plus 2x. And then I would subtract 4 from both sides. And then we have 10 minus 4 is 6 is less than or equal to 2x. And then let's divide both sides by 2. And we have 3 is less than or equal to x. So this is also the same way as writing x is greater or equal to 3. So what's the answer there? X is greater or equal to 3. So it's that. Now if we want to quickly check it, let's plug in any number that's greater than 3. Let's say 5. Right? So if we plugged in a 5 for x, we would get 10 minus 2 times 5 equals 4. And so 10 minus 10 equals 0, and 0 is less than 4. And so that's true. So we're pretty sure that that's probably the right answer choice. But now let's see if we could take this this question and let's tweak it a little bit and add an absolute value. Now how would you solve it? If the question instead was 10 minus 2x is less than or equal to 4. Well, then we know there's going to be two equations. There's going to be the one that we just solved, 2 minus x is less than or equal to 4, and we know what that answer is, which is that x is greater than or equal to 3, right? But then there's another equation we'd have to solve, which is negative 10 minus 2x is less than or equal to 4. So let's solve this. So you multiply both sides by -1. And remember, you got to flip that sign. And so we have 10 minus 2x is greater than or equal to -4. And now let's add both sides by 2x. And so we have 10 is greater than or equal to -4 plus 2x. And now let's subtract or add 4 to each side. And then we divide 2 on both sides, and we get, right. So these are the two equations. X is greater than or equal to 3, and x is less than or equal to 8. And now if we put these answers on a number line, let's say we have x is less than or equal to 8, and the other one is x is greater than or equal to 3. So let's put that here. All right. So these are our two answers. So let's go, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so it's x is greater than or equal to 3. So we find 3, we fill in that thing, and x is anything greater than that. So all of this will be filled. And x is also less than or equal to 8. So we find 8, we fill it in, and x is less than or equal to 8. So everything here is filled in. So all these values between 3 and 8, including 3 and 8, is a solution to this problem.